Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today, where we talk about the art of intentional living. And this show is all about inspiring, empowering, and educating you through life's transitions. So I have a question for you. Where does all disease start? It starts in the mind. It's dis-ease of the mind. And I have a very special guest in the studio with me today, Maury Zelkovich. And Maury is the creator of the Maury Method. And he teaches brainwave entertainment. He's created brainwave entertainment. And as a child, Maury had many problems ranging from hearing thousands of voices in his head to severe depression. He also had a very big mouth. We're going to have fun. Was always getting into trouble, and he was unbelievably accident prone. And through all this, through his study and research, he developed this amazing technology. And so we're going to talk about what it is and how you can use his unbelievably powerful technology, which he gave me some samples of. We're going to talk about it to start healing yourself, quieting those voices, and quickly and efficiently healing yourself in many, many different ways. Okay. So I hope you're excited about this. Do you know, I've been on a roll, in case you haven't noticed this, with bringing you guests like Maury, experts like this who are doing cool, unique things out there. They're dedicating their lives to helping and serving people live better, but do it naturally, efficiently, utilizing the power of the universe, literally the quantum field, energy, light, frequency, you name it, to you to let you know that you actually have everything you need to live a happy, healthy, fulfilling, joyous, peaceful mind life. If you just devote yourself to this and you be open and curious. And I said that on the last episode and the episode before. If you're just open and curious to learning the new information and giving these things a try, you're going to start to see incredible results in your life. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Maury and his Maury method in just a few minutes. We're going to bring him into the studio. But first, I want to give you our intention statement for today. Today's statement is, I have today to quickly and naturally quiet the voices in my head. I have today to quickly quiet the voices in my head, quickly and naturally, easily, effortlessly, through this technology and through having the awareness that we all have voices in our head, by the way. Some of us have more than others, but the voices are there telling you all the negative things, putting the fear-based thoughts into you. You're not good enough. You're a bad girl. You're a bad boy. All the things, all the programming that we got put into us when we were in our youth in the theta brainwave state. From age 0, birth until 7 or 8 years old, and all that programming got in there. And try as you might to make the changes on a conscious level, you can't, no matter what you do. It's going on in the subconscious mind. So we're going to have a fantastic conversation about this. And this intention statement I have today to quickly and naturally quiet those voices in my head is something that we do every week. We give you an intention statement so that you can use this for the entire week to start reprogramming your subconscious mind. And what we do is the team makes a beautiful graphic for you. There it is. It's on the screen right now. And where you can find this graphic is if you hop on over to my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official, go to my profile. There's a little button that says intention statements, and this is already there. So click on it and then take a screenshot of it and use it as your screensaver for the whole week. So every time you look at your phone, on average 150 times a day, you see it and it's your reminder. And that will allow you to start reprogramming. So utilizing Maury's method and tools like this and getting multiple senses involved, that's how you're going to create lasting, positive, permanent change. All right. So while you're over there at Instagram getting that, if you feel called to, give me a follow over there. I'd love to get to know you. All right. So I don't want to wait another minute. I want to bring Maury up on stage in the studio with me as soon as possible. But first, let's hear a word from our sponsor, The Spifter. week's episode of I Have Today is brought to you by the Spifter. The Spifter is a fun sifting spoon that makes cooking, baking, and decorating with sugars and spices so much fun. No more mess or wasting your spices. It's fast, clean, and easy. Everything looks and tastes delicious. It's also great for straining loose tea, getting pesky broken cork out of your wine glass, and draining liquid off food like olives and capers. Whether you're a novice cook or a gourmet chef, you'll love the results. The Spifter, the kitchen gadget that no kitchen should be without. All right. Well, hi, Maury. How are you, my friend?
I'm terrific, Diane. Thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, it's going to be a great conversation. Well, I just want to ask the audience, are you ready to elevate your mental game? Because if you are, Maury is the guy to do it. Let me tell you a little bit more about him. As I said earlier, as a child, he had many problems ranging from hearing thousands of voices in his head to severe depression. He also had a big mouth and was always getting in trouble and was unbelievably accident prone. Something inside him made him start looking into the brainwave entertainment field when he began to observe that sometimes time would seem to move faster and more pleasantly than other times. He eventually made the connection that when time seemed to move quicker, the sounds he was hearing were more rhythmic in nature. And when time seemed painfully stand still, the surrounding sounds were far more disjointed. Okay. I don't want to read anymore. I want to hear how you discovered this and how this sent you on this quest to become who you are today. So tell us a little bit of the background story.
Sure. Thank you very much. One little clarification I'd like to make in case anyone's
Yes.
doing a Google search right now. It's actually brainwave entrainment.
Oh, entrainment. Yeah. I'm sorry. Thank you.
That's okay. There's nothing entertaining about what I do.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Entrainment.
It's a common error that happens because their words are very similar.
Yes.
And no one's heard the term entrainment before. Entertainment is quite prevalent. So,
right.
At any rate, so I spent the first 40 years of my life pretty much wanting to be dead. Thousands and thousands of voices in my head at all times, kind of like if you're at a music concert or a sporting event in the intermission and everybody's talking all at the same time. That's kind of what I heard nonstop for at least the first 40 years of my life. I used to wake up every morning. I would stand on my bed. I'd draw my curtains. I'd cross my fingers and I'd hope I would see mushroom clouds. I tried to kill myself 6 times.
Wow.
That I know of. There might be more times than that. But the thing is, if I really wanted to die, once should have been enough.
Right.
And when I realized I couldn't find a way to die, I had to find a way to live. And that's what started me trying whatever I could try to feel better. I tried the usual suspects to begin with. So I became an alcoholic, a drug addict, and a sex addict.
Wow.
Anything I could do to try to stop my negative feelings and really to stop me from thinking. That, as I'm sure you can imagine, made my life so much worse.
Yes.
Then I thought, okay, that didn't work out so well. Maybe I need to see a doctor. So I saw some psychiatrists and psychologists and coaches and therapists, and that didn't help me at all either. Not that they weren't good at what they do. I believe there's a lot of benefit to be had from people like that. It just wasn't for me. At that point, I started trying other things. So things like EMDR, hypnosis, meditations, all the variations, tapping, whatever I could find. I literally went through thousands of different things to try and still nothing. I decided at some point that I need to understand what's going on because this throwing crap against the wall and hoping something sticks isn't working out for me. So that's what I did. I went to what I call the paper internet. Can you guess what that would be?
The library.
Well done. Yeah, that's exactly what it was because they didn't have the internet back then. So
Right.
I went and I studied neurology journals and I studied quantum physics texts and psychology and sociology and pretty much anything, self-help, anything and everything under the sun that I could get my hands on because I had to get some kind of an understanding as to why this was happening to me. As I was learning and expanding my mind, I eventually found this thing called brainwave entrainment. And intellectually, it ticked all the boxes. But when I
Yes.
tried it, again, nothing. And there's a bunch of people who do it. So I tried everything I could find and still nothing.
Okay.
But all my research said I should know. Something should be happening here. And I realized that maybe I'm feeling this way, not because I'm being punished, but because I was supposed to come across brainwave entrainment and evolve it, change it, make it different from what it was. Because everything I was trying was essentially the same thing, but a different color on it, a different sign on it. When I changed it, that's when I started changing my life. The very first time I listened, two monumental things happened to me. The first thing I didn't realize until about 6 months ago, actually. So the first thing that I noticed at the time was 5 minutes after the recording ended, and I was sad. I was depressed because I didn't feel anything. Nothing changed. But 5 minutes later, I started hearing the voices come back. That was the very first time in my life I was conscious without hearing voices.
Wow.
And that was one time listening after 40 years of being like this. Later on, I realized after talking to someone, I was actually being interviewed and it just clicked in my head. I went from being being depressed, severely depressed, to what I call super depressed. And super depressions would kick in and bring me down below the earth. I literally felt like I was trapped and suffocating. Well, what happened was I had the feeling as soon as I finished listening, I feel nothing. I don't feel better. I don't feel worse. I feel just terrible. That normally would have set off a super depression. Because remember, this was pretty much my last hope. 40 years of looking. You've looked a long time in a lot of places. But as soon as I had that negative thought, which normally would have sent me off, all of a sudden another voice came, clear voice, and it said, what did you expect after 40 years? Did you really think one 30-minute recording was going to change your life? You're going to have to do this more often and regularly. Right away, it calmed me down. That's never happened before either. The bottom line for me was I didn't realize that when I feel normal, I don't notice it. Only the pain I noticed, only the dis-ease, as you put it, is what I noticed. I didn't notice that I was doing better. I didn't even notice that I calmed myself down. Whereas in the past, I would never have had that positive thought afterwards. I just would have gone into a spiraling super depression.
Yes.
That's what really started me going. From that one recording, I created a product, which is actually the original version of the Quantum Mind Method, which is one of my current products. And the interesting thing about that is that I created this system, and the system brought me back from the abyss. And then I tested it with other people because they were all asking me, Maury, what's happened to you? What's different about you? You seem so different. You seem so much happier. They tried it and they got benefits. Now I have 24 products currently available, 34 actually, another 10 about to be released, and I'm working on 50 other techniques and technologies all at the same time. I can't stop the ideas from flowing now. It's absolutely incredible.
It's amazing. It's truly amazing. Talk about the products, because you sent me a sample, and I'm going to butcher it if I described it, but there was so many things going on. There was your voice in this ear, in my left side, your voice in my right side. There was frequency and vibration. There was so much going on, and I meditate, and I'm into all of that. I listen to the hertz. I listen to binaural beats. I listen to all of it. And so this was definitely the most different thing I've ever heard.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I actually gave you a set of triliminals. Triliminals, yeah, that's one of my technologies that I've developed. It's actually a combination of about 5 or 6 different technologies all put together. So what a triliminal is you hear a shh sound. The shh sound is a mask. So most of your audience would know what a mask is. It's designed to block out external noise. but it's actually a set of over 600 frequencies laid over each other. Most of them are designed to mask out external noise, so they don't impose on the session when you're listening. But some of them hyperactivate different regions of your brain. They're resonant. There's resonant frequencies for every aspect of your physical being. And I figured out what these resonant frequencies are for different regions of the brain. And the reason why I'm hyperactivating them is you at the same time hear a pulse tone. Ba, 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 ba. That pulse tone is what's known as the brainwave entrainment tone. That tone elicits a response because it's a specific frequency of something called the frequency following response creates a issue. Well, not really an issue. It's a feature of the brain called long-term potentiation. And with it, memory pathways form, neural pathways form. Without it, information goes in one ear and out the other ear.
Say the term again. What is it?
It's called long-term potentiation.
Long-term potentiation.
Okay. Yeah, it's a state of the brain that allows the brain to create neural pathways. Neurocomplexity, if you will. It makes your brain more complex, better able to handle things. So a triliminal is designed to deal with what I call the negative reflexive thought process, when we instantly think the worst. Right? It's designed to stop that from happening. And even if it does happen, it's designed to help people out of it much faster. They just don't hear all of this going on. They also hear me speaking in the left ear, as you said, for the right hemisphere of the brain, in the right ear for the left hemisphere, and in the center for both. The reason for that is perception works that way. Everything in the left side goes to the right hemisphere. Everything in the right side goes to the left hemisphere. That even works for your eyes, by the way. The right side of your eye goes to the left side of your eye goes to the right. And when we understand the function and the purpose of these things, it becomes simply a mathematical equation to figure out how best to influence the brain to get it into its most opportune states. And your brain naturally tries to go there, but because of stress and anxiety and all these other things going on in our lives all the time, they're pulling and they're tugging at us. And it keeps us from achieving these natural states. So my work, even though it might feel a little supernatural, is actually very natural. I'm pulling you back from the unnatural state that society, that stress, that anxiety causes. You know, our smartphones, our computers, all of these things work to distract us. They work to keep us away. And keep in mind that when we have certain thoughts, brainwave activity is created. When you use my systems, brainwave activity is created. And depending on the region of the brain and the frequency, in other words, the pulse rate, how many times the neuron is firing an electric pulse in a second, that denotes and dictates the kind of state it's in. So you mentioned theta before. Theta simply is an identifier of how many times a second the neuron is pulsing that electric beat. That's all it really means. There's a lot of misinformation, by the way, about different brain states. But that being said, the idea is to get the brain into a stable brain state for a long enough period of time that these natural neurochemicals are produced and begin circulating through your system. That's why I'm talking about nature. When we were living in caves, what did we do? We lived our life. We got up with the sun. We farmed, or we hunted, or we foraged. We had sex. Why did we have sex? Not to procreate, because nature made it feel good, because we didn't know that's what made babies. We just knew it felt good. So we were instinctively designed that way so we would perpetuate the species. But the bottom line here is, back then, they panicked when there was a reason to panic. When the danger wasn't there, there was no panic. I paid my taxes, and then the day after, I'm wondering, how am I going to pay my taxes next year?
Yeah.
You know, you hear the news. So-and-so wants to have a war. So-and-so is having a war. There's disease. There's dysfunction. There's this. There's that. That's not natural. That takes us away from our natural states. My work helps bring us back to those natural states. It helps to retrain the brain to get into these natural states that it is designed for. And people ask me, they say, well, Maury, We've evolved a lot since we lived in caves. That's true, and our brains have evolved too, but the basic functions haven't changed at all. The ability to think, the ability to operate autonomously, to make our lungs move, to make us breathe, to make our heart pump, all these things are still the same. All these things are adversely affected by stress and anxiety. We can retrain ourselves to get back into a natural state of being. I exist in a perpetual state of meditation. I get pulled out of it sometimes. I'm human, but I go right back into it quickly and easily. And
I feel that from you.
Thank you. So that's basically how the technology works. That's one of my technologies, but essentially they all work based on something called the frequency following response. And before any of you think that, oh, that's you, Maury, it will never happen for me, remember the last time you listened to a song you liked and you were bopping your head without thinking and tapping your toes without thinking? That's a form of entrainment. So you've already been entrained in your life. My entrainment techniques target your neurons, your brain cells. They're not likely to make you tap your feet.
Yeah. This is amazing. Amazing. So with this, I mean, how did you, how have you evolved up to this point with all of this work? Give me some, obviously you are your own best case study, but share some other case studies of results that people utilizing your technology have had.
Okay, so I've heard from a family in the UK who was telling me about their 28-year-old son who's autistic. Doesn't speak, kind of just stares off into the distance. Since they've been using, and they've used a lot of techniques and have spent a lot of money, they bought a system of mind for, I think it was $197, started using it on their son, and they reported to me that the 28-year-old talks to his brother now, his younger brother, who he never talked to. And they were actually crying when they told me that he came up to them the other night. Now, this is some years ago that I was told this story, but the actual line was, he came up to me the other night and asked his father to read him from this book, to read to him from this book. Never did this before. I have people who claim, and again, I'm not making this claim. I do not make any medical claims whatsoever, but they claim that my work has helped them fully recover from stroke. I have doctors and clinicians. I don't know if any of you have heard of Dr. Dale Bredesen. He created the RECODE program, which helps to halt and even reverse Alzheimer's disease in many cases. He's a research scientist from California. He has a book called The End of Alzheimer's. So if any of you have Alzheimer's disease in any stage, or you know someone who does, I strongly suggest buying his book, not because it mentions one of my recordings 3 times, but because there's a lot of good investment in ideas, in techniques, and in philosophy that will help you to help your loved ones to hopefully be better than they are now.
Tell us the name of the book again. We'll put it in our bookstore.
Thank you. It's called End of Alzheimer's by Dr. Dale Bredesen, Bredesen.
Okay, we'll make sure to put it in our...
Yeah, it's fantastic, especially chapter 3, I believe, which tells you how to get Alzheimer's.
Wow.
In other words, it's telling you things you're doing that might be making a problem. And, I don't understand our society and our view that when something goes wrong, let's take something to fix it.
Well,
but if something's going wrong, isn't it logical to assume that we've been doing something that's brought this on? Maybe we need to not just take, but to stop doing certain things too. Right. It's a different way to think, but this is something that I encourage people to do, to think.
I love this, Maury, because I do too. It's all this show is all about self-empowerment, right? Yeah. And creating that self-awareness. And why would you go to, why wouldn't you ask yourself, go within first and say, I'm having this. Is there something, what you just said, is there something that I'm doing, or what is it? Because our intuition actually will guide us, right? And but people are so programmed. We're so programmed. This infuriates me so much, which is why I'm doing the work that I'm doing and building a network to empower people to take, ownership of their own health and happiness and the condition of their lives, not to look outside, that the world, your world, there's not this one big world that we're living in. There's over 8 billion people on the planet. There's over 8 billion worlds going on, right? And so for people to just tap more into, well, what could I do myself? We're so programmed because the messages are there everywhere. There's so much noise out there. It's like 60 to 80,000 impressions a day coming at us. All the medical, all the big pharma with all their messages. And now I've been in the TV industry for a long time. I sold advertising for a long time. Every single commercial break, multiple spots for drugs. There's something wrong with you. Take this. So the programming gets in our head that there's something wrong. Oh, I must need this thing to make myself better. That's what's happening. So what I love that you are doing is changing that and allowing, get out the noise, stop the noise, and let yourself self-correct, because this mechanism is designed to self-correct, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And where it all starts, how I started the show, all disease starts with dis-ease of the mind. This is so fascinating. You're brilliant. I love all of this. Yes.
There's no brilliance where there's no choice. And I don't think I had a choice, so there's no brilliance. Believe me, I'm the farthest thing from brilliant. I think everybody has their own brilliance, and what you're saying kind of segues very nicely into a point I'd like to make. Mm-hmm. Self-help, self-improvement. I'm not brilliant, and I encourage all of you out there to consider me not brilliant. Consider yourselves brilliant, because as Diane mentioned, we all live in our own world. And if we live in our own world, then we are the influencer. We are the power. We are the support. We are everything we need, and we have everything we need. So as an example, if you think I'm brilliant and you follow what I say because you go, oh, Maury's brilliant, he knows what he's talking about, I'm going to follow what he says word for word, it's not likely going to work for you. Mm-hmm. And the reason for that would be you're not me. Mm-hmm. I'm not Oprah. I'm not Tony Robbins. I'm not Wayne Dyer. I'm not Deepak Chopra. I'm not any of these people. If I follow what they say I should do step by step, it doesn't work for me.
Right.
And most people it doesn't work for, not because they're not smart, not because they're not intentional, not because they don't have good ideas, but because I think every self-help expert needs to put a little disclaimer in front of every single thing they do. If it's an audio recording, if it's a video, if it's a book, if it's a TV show, whatever it is, it should say something to the effect of, I can only be an expert in my life. And all my views and all my impressions are a result of my interpreting my experience. So if I say something, if I do something, if I instill in you a desire to do something, first adapt it, reinterpret it, reimagine it in your own way, in a sense, translate it into your own language. Then if you still resonate with it, go for it. Then you'll have a chance of success. But if you try to do it based on me, it's not going to work for you. I had different friends. I had different parents, different upbringing, different education, I didn't even have the same lunch you had. And I use this as an example. Tony Robbins, very famous, very popular, very wealthy. He has courses. He travels the world telling people how they have to be, which is terrific. But understand something. Tony Robbins is something like 6'7" or something. He's a giant. Mm-hmm. I'm 6'1". Mm-hmm. Let's say I wanted to buy Tony's suit from him. Pretend his suit is his course. So whenever I say suit, I really mean his course. So I go up to him, I shake his hand, and I go, hey, Tony, I'd like to buy your suit, please. He goes, sure, Maury. Venmo me $10,000 and I'll get you my suit. So I Venmo him the money. He goes into the back. He changes clothes. He gives me his suit. If I go home and try it on, I'm going to look like a 6-year-old trying on daddy's clothes. right? But
Right.
if I take those clothes to a tailor and I say, can you tailor these to fit me, please? The tailor measures me, measures the suit. I come back in a week. I try on the suit. I look like $1,000,000.
Right.
Moral of the story, if you're inspired by anything I say or anybody else for that matter, my opinion, my current view only, not truth, not fact, but my view is if you want something to work for you, tailor it to fit you first. Then, if you're still inspired, take the action.
Love it. Love it. It is so true. And yeah, I operate that way too. I think there's a little piece of something in everything out there, and I'm just going to disagree with you. You are brilliant, but I also do believe that everybody is brilliant. Everyone is brilliance.
I'll
Everyone
accept
is
that.
yes, yes, and that you've mastered something that works for you, and you're putting it out in the world in a big way. You're getting the downloads. It's coming in, and it's serving people. And
Yeah.
you can't, what better way to live than to live like that in service? You're quite humble, and I'm so grateful that we met and that I know you and can share this work with the rest of the world. So I want to ask you a couple more questions. The first question is, how, I ask all my guests this, how do you live the I Have Today way? And if you would start it with I Have Today too, because we take all of our guests' intention statement and we make a compilation video of it. So if you would start it with I Have Today too.
I have today to live with the awareness that I only have today. I can't eat in the past. I can't breathe in the past. I can't eat in the future. I can't breathe in the future. I can only eat and breathe right now, today. And with that awareness, it helps me to see the world as I see it in my own little universe, my own little way, where I'm happy, I'm smiling, and even when I'm in pain, I see value and I learn.
Beautiful. So beautifully said. Thank you. Oh my
Thank you.
gosh. I felt that. I can't eat in the past. I can't breathe in the past. That's so true. Or in the future. So good.
Yeah.
All right. And then, Maury, what do you wish more people knew?
I wish people knew, or more people knew, that they're supposed to be happy all the time. I really do. I think that is I think the message that the body, the mind gives is so, to me, it's obvious. Of course, keep in mind, it took me 40 years to come up with something that's obvious. So I guess it's not that obvious. To me, feeling good feels good for a reason. I don't think it's just random. And feeling bad feels bad for a reason. And I think they're both equally valuable and beneficial. Feeling good tells me that I'm doing and thinking the right things. Feeling bad tells me I'm doing and thinking the wrong things, and I need to start reframing what I'm thinking. So pain is the same way. If I break my leg and it doesn't hurt, I might not go to a hospital. It may not get set. It might get infected. I might spend the rest of my life in a wheelchair. I might die. But the pain makes me take action. Emotional pain, physical pain. I believe there's a lesson there. And once I started looking for the lesson, I stopped cowering away from it in fear. And all of a sudden, I became grateful for my 40 years of depression. I became grateful for all the injuries and all the pain. And I became grateful for every single person who ever came into my life, even the people that I just made eye contact with for 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
I never saw them again.
Yeah. Really powerful. That
Thank you.
feeling good and feeling bad is, all of it has value, and pain makes
Yeah,
you take action. I believe that we're all supposed to be happy all the time too. I do.
good.
I really believe that. I believe that this journey is but a blip, in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah,
And it truly should be joyous that we intended to come here and have experience, but being in this vessels, if you will, and having our senses and having our gifts and all the things that we do have should be celebrated, right? So
Yeah.
I absolutely love the work that you're doing, and I want our audience to learn more about you. So tell them where they can find out more about you and your products and your services.
Well, the best place to do it would be from the link that you're going to provide them, actually. It'll give an outline as to my history, my past, why I do what I do, because I don't believe in keeping secrets from people. I think full transparency is mandatory. It's not important, again, that you think I'm smart or I'm brilliant, because in actuality, my systems act on your brain. Every benefit you're going to get is from your brain. It's from you. It's not from me. If my work gathers cyber dust on your phone or on your tablet or on your computer, it does no good. Your choice to make use of it, or of anything for that matter, gives you the power and you the credit, by the way. Even if I created something that helps you to get in touch with yourself, that helps you to act and react better, that helps you to be more successful, that helps you to be happier, it only does all of these things if you take the action to use it and to use it properly. So you're the hero, not me. You're the brilliant person. I'm the brilliant person in my life, but you're the brilliant person in your life. And to me, it is so important to understand that idolizing someone or thinking more of them than you think of yourself doesn't serve you. You are special, and I can prove it to every single one of you. You're here. You're breathing. You have a purpose. Doesn't matter if you're a neurosurgeon, you're a neuroscientist. It doesn't matter if you collect garbage for a living. You know what? If aliens came and took people like me off the planet, sure, some people might suffer, some people might even die. But if the aliens dropped us off again and picked up all the custodians, all the people who kept our world clean, in 6 months, most of us would be dead from disease. So who's more important? In reality, no one is. Everyone's the same. But I use that story to kind of help people gain a little perspective. It's very important to realize that every single person has value. And I honestly believe, and this is going to sound funny coming from a scientist, but I honestly believe that when push comes to shove, we are all the same and we're all connected. And I believe that the day we stop raping, the day we stop hurting, the day we stop being jealous and stealing and murdering and being envious, all these things, the day we stop all of that, I believe all disease is just going to disappear off the face of the earth. And people will say it's God, and people will say it's this, and people will say it's that. But I believe that disease in our bodies mirrors the disease in our society and our social structure. And when that mirroring goes away, when all the pain goes away from our society, when we stop warring with each other and we start helping each other instead, I believe all the mirroring in our bodies, the psychological lack of health, the physical lack of health, I believe all that's going to disappear. And that's my biggest mission, is to hopefully help people to think for themselves and to realize that if you truly want someone to stop bothering you, start loving them instead of hating them and wishing bad things on them. Doing that will make people behave the way you want them to behave, not trying to force them, not imposing anything on them, but simply wishing for them to have an understanding that makes sense to them. It doesn't have to be your understanding. Right. Whatever makes you happy is what's right for you. And I think we all exist in our own little universe. And that's my current understanding. Frankly, I don't even believe in truth or fact. Believing in truth or fact for me creates a state where I stop thinking.
It's true. You are my kind of people. You're here to everything you just said. I'm on the same page with you with all of that, and I agree. And if ego didn't exist, what a different experience this would be. And that's a very simplistic way of saying it. I don't think anybody has to really be different. I think the way is your way of how you show up in the world with everyone and everything. And love is the most dominant, emotion and frequency. And if we could all just love and accept each other for our own experience, what a happier existence this would be. But we're seeing this. I'm seeing this. Let me speak for myself. I am seeing the disparity in the world, and I see the heart-centered light workers, people like you who are doing amazing work in the world, putting it out there in service to yourself and in service of others, just being who you are, versus and not making it about a right or wrong. I'm just saying this perspective and this perspective. Well, on the other side, that's fear-based, that's ego-based, that's lack mentality, and there's a lot going on in the mind, because that's where it all is. And so, if more people knew, here's what I wish more people knew. This is my wish for today. I wish more people knew that this is actually heaven. It's not some other place. This is quote unquote heaven. And you can live in, heaven and bliss every single day. So this
and
was
you're
such
supposed
a great
to.
conversation. What?
You're supposed to live in heaven and bliss every day. That's why it feels good. I mean, it makes sense, right?
Feels so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, this was an amazing episode. I am so grateful to have you here, Maury Zelkovich, and we will have a link to your site. I am going to encourage everyone who's watching this show or listening to this as the podcast to make sure you go there. Maury's got a special link for us, which we're going to put in the notes. Go there. Get some of his products and services. I can speak firsthand. They are powerful, truly powerful. You just keep doing what you're doing, Maury, and we'll keep, keep letting our community and the world know about you too. And I so appreciate you. Is there any final thing you'd like to say before we wrap?
Yeah. Do I have like 30 seconds or so? Can
Yes,
I have that
you do.
time?
You do.
Great. So I just want to give everyone something they can do without bending a dime, without changing their life. I'd like you all, or encourage you all, to spend your days looking for things to be grateful for. At night, I want you to take 10 of those things and write them down 3 times each on a piece of paper. In the morning, rewrite the same things 3 times each, and then look for new things that day and just recycle. I have yet to meet anyone who after 2 weeks, their life outlook has not changed drastically. What happens is, by writing something down, we're actually creating neural pathways. So don't type it, don't swipe it on your phone, actually pen or pencil to paper. What you do is you're spending all day looking for things because you're going to have to remember 10 things. So that means you're going to be looking all day long. You can't write them down during the day, only at night and in the morning. When you go to sleep at night and you've written down these 10 things 3 times each, not only have you created neural pathways to those positive feelings, but you also are making yourself think and appreciate and be grateful for things just before you close your eyes to go to sleep. What a wonderful sleep you're going to have. Then when you wake up in the morning, the writing down again further embeds these neural pathways, but it also starts your day feeling really, really great. You repeat this over and over and over again. It's very easy to do. Fill up page after page after page. Saturday or Sunday every week, just flip through them. You don't even have to read them. Just flip through them once they're filled up. That will help to change your outlook, your attitude. Everything in this world will look brighter, will look sharper. Your relationships will get better. Your work will get better. Everything about your life will get better.
So well said. Nobody's ever said it like that. I haven't heard anybody say it like that. So I'm going to do it. I do write my gratitude in my journal in the morning, but I'm going to do it 10 things 3 times and then repeat it in the morning and keep adding. I love it. I love everything. Well, Maury, thank you so much for being here. This was an amazing episode. And I know that I'll speak to you soon. I'm going to continue to follow you and be a student of your work. And I'm just truly grateful for you. Thank you.
Well, I'm grateful to you too. And thank you, everybody out there. And I feel all of your energy. Time and space don't actually exist. So thank you for sharing your energy with me.
Our pleasure. Okay. All right. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was an amazing interview. Amazing. All right. Before we get ready to do our mantra meditation and wrap up the show, I just want to share some exciting news with all of you. We just launched our new podcast, or I just launched my new podcast called Be a TV Star Host. Be a TV Star Host. And it's interesting what Maury was saying about how individualized we are, and what he was sharing about, the metaphor story of Tony Robbins and Tony Robbins' suit, right? You got to do something that's custom and it really suits you and fits you. And so the premise of Be a TV Star Host is for you to get your amazing work, like Maury's amazing work, out into the world with your own platform. And what I'm teaching you to do on this podcast is intentional implementation using my STAR method, STAR. And the S stands for strategy. And that is your way to identify what are your unique abilities. What is the thing that makes you so unique? What are the things that make you brilliant? Shine like the star, and then drill that down and turn what you're doing into this unique star that you already are, but illuminate them in a way that is so authentic to you. So it is about you creating your own TV show or whatever platform you want to do it on, but I'm doing it in a very different way. And we're already, after 2 weeks, ranked in the top 25 podcasts in 2 categories. I know we're going to be, getting more and more. The reviews are amazing. And it's my invitation to you, in case you can't work with me directly to help you launch your own TV show or come to my events. This is your way of getting the information. So I'm going to invite you to go check out the podcast at tvstarhostpodcast.com and give it a listen, give it a try. If you like it, I'd love you to subscribe and give us a rating and a review. When you go to that page, you'll see I have some free gifts there for you too. So go check it out. All right. All right. Now let's wrap this up. And I see Maury still in the studio. That's good. Stick around, Maury, because I want you to feel this too. And then we'll chat at the end of the recording. All right. So everybody, in case you're new here and don't know this, we end every episode with a mantra meditation. And it's our way to anchor in everything that we talked about on the show with everything that Maury's currently doing. And so that way you get to leave here feeling better at the end than you did at the beginning. And it's another way to anchor this in. And Maury shared so many nuggets, so many good nuggets, that I'm going to tie this all in together. So what we're going to do is we are going to do 2 rounds of breath. The 2 rounds start with 4 seconds. I want you to breathe in through your nose and pull it all the way down to your tailbone, which is where your root chakra is. And then I want you to hold it for the count of 8. And as you're counting, I'll be counting out loud. I want you to send energy to all of your chakras, starting with your root chakra, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown, and soul star, which sits about a foot above your head. It's a very important energy center because it's your pathway to be receiving information. And we did so much focus on brain today. What a great thing to do. So as you're holding your breath, you're counting. And what you're doing when you're sending the energy to your energy centers, AKA your chakras, is you're sending that to, the chakras are connected to everything in your body and your energy field. So you're sending healing energy everywhere. And then I want you to blow it out for 8 seconds as if you're blowing out birthday candles. So that should feel like every toxic memory, trauma, experience, emotion that might be sitting somewhere in you is being released. You're letting it go. And my visualization always is like sooty smoke, like smoke that comes out of a train or the chimney, like just get it all out. You're going to feel so good. It's amazing. So we'll do that 2 times. Don't worry. I'll walk you through it and then just listen to my words. So it'll only be about 2 or 3 minutes, but what a great thing to do. So if you're driving, obviously you can't do this. You can do this later. You can listen in, but don't close your eyes. For everybody else, stop multitasking. Give yourself this gift right now. Close your eyes. Put your feet flat on the floor. Put your hands on your lap. You can keep them face down if you feel grounded. If you want to receive more energy, then flip them up. And here we go. I want you to breathe in for the count of 4 through your nose. And then hold it and send the energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And blow it out for the count of 8. Get rid of all that toxicity. All right, let's do it one more time. Breathe in through your nose for 4. Pull it all the way down. Send the energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and blow it out. Just listen to my words. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I have today to quickly and naturally quiet those voices in my head. I have today to live in gratitude and appreciation, and I am going to start Maury's new gratitude practice starting today. I can't breathe in yesterday or eat from yesterday or breathe in from tomorrow or eat for tomorrow. All I have is today. I can choose how I want to live and how I want to feel. I am going to be open and receptive to learning from people like Maury and listening to what he had to say and understand that what he's doing is pulling us back from the unnatural and bringing us back to natural states. Happiness is my birthright. It is supposed to be heaven on earth. And this isn't just woo-woo, airy-fairy. This is backed by 40 years of his research. He's figured out tools that work for him. He's put his own spin on it, and he's pumping this stuff out, and maybe they'll work for me like they've worked for other people. I don't have to live with the voices. I don't have to live in fear. I don't have to go outside of myself to go pop a pill or do something else. I'm going to tune in and take care of me in this self-correcting vessel that is the body that I'm carrying myself around in. I can create new neural pathways in my mind, and I'm choosing to do that today. I do have today to live in happiness, joy, and fulfillment by choosing every decision that I make, tuning in to me first. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank my guest, Maury Zelkovich, for being here, and thank you for being here at I Have Today. For more information, you can find us everywhere at I Have Today with Diane Forster and Diane Forster Official, and we'll see you next time. Take care.